If you're somebody that's planning on moving to Chicago, whether it's for work, school, or simply because you want a fresh start, first of all, congratulations. Moving to Chicago is a great choice. It's an awesome city, but you may be overwhelmed with, well, where should I live if I move to Chicago? After all, there are 77 different neighborhoods, so finding the right one is definitely going to take some time. That's why in this video, I'm going to go over what I believe to be the best neighborhoods in Chicago. So make sure you watch all the way through, because if you're considering moving to Chicago, then you'll definitely want to make sure that these neighborhoods are on your list. Hi, my name is Peter and I'm a realtor here in the Chicagoland area. If any of these neighborhoods really intrigue you so much so that you want to move here, feel free to reach out and touch base. I'm sure that my team and I can assist you. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to combine some of the neighborhoods that I believe are very similar in lifestyle, culture, they offer similar amenities, and they're generally located in the same area. That way, we'll get to cover a lot more neighborhoods in a much shorter amount of time. The first neighborhoods that I have to mention are Lincoln Park and Lakeview. These are, without a doubt, the most popular neighborhoods in all of Chicago. Everyone from young professionals to families and people in between absolutely love to live here. They're two residential neighborhoods located just north of the downtown area, so you're not going to get a lot of high rises here, but what you do get is a very welcoming residential neighborhood that has a ton of character. Plus, if you're somebody that works downtown or might be working in the Loop or in the Central Business District, well, it's very easy to get there as well through public transportation or even just walking. In fact, the walkability is one of the main reasons why people love living in these two neighborhoods. You can get just about everywhere within just a 10 to 15 minute walk. Whether it's a grocery store, a restaurant, a cocktail lounge, entertainment, sports games, the lake, parks, all of it will be very, very close. Not only is everything close, but the walks are also just very enjoyable. You have beautiful tree-lined streets throughout both of these neighborhoods, as well as really active and vibrant commercial districts as well. On the east side is where you'll get access to Lake Michigan and Lincoln Park, which, yes, it's a neighborhood, but it's also the name of the largest park in Chicago. It's a fantastic park with so much to do, whether it's walking along the lakefront trails, biking, golfing, playing tennis, going to the farmer's market, or even the zoo. Yes, Lincoln Park Zoo is located within Lincoln Park. It's a free zoo that's seamlessly integrated with the rest of the park. So you might be walking down a trail and all of a sudden you stumble upon an animal exhibit. It's awesome, definitely worth the visit, especially with family and friends. In general, in both Lincoln Park and Lakeview, you'll simply never run out of things to do. For example, if you like shopping, then I highly recommend you visit Armitage Avenue in Lincoln Park and Southport Corridor in Lakeview, where there are tons of high-end shops and boutique stores to choose from. If you like to eat out at restaurants frequently, then these neighborhoods are perfect because you'll have access to hundreds of restaurants, whether it's for brunch, lunch, fancy dinners, and world-class experiences. Some of the best foods can be found in both Lincoln Park and Lakeview. And if you're a big sports fan, well, these are also great neighborhoods because Lakeview is home to the Chicago Cubs. Wrigley Field is a great baseball stadium because it's seamlessly integrated with the rest of the neighborhood. So you don't have a giant parking lot surrounding it. Instead, you have a great commercial and entertainment district that make it the perfect place to go and have a beer after you're done watching the game. Okay, so Lincoln Park and Lakeview have a lot to offer, but as a result, they're super popular, and thus the cost of living here is going to be higher than other parts of the city. The median home sales price in Lincoln Park is right around $622,000 and about $440,000 in Lakeview. The housing options here definitely vary. On the east side is where you'll see more of your high rises. These are going to be along the lake and the park. And as you travel further west, that's when you'll see mid-sized buildings, 3 flats, 2 flats, and single-family homes as well. Some of these homes and buildings will have a classic, old-school Chicago vintage feel to them. Other times, there'll be brand new construction and development, so there really is something for everybody. So it's no surprise that with all the shopping, dining, entertainment, parks, lakes, public transportation, and more that's available in both Lincoln Park and Lakeview, that these neighborhoods have become so popular and so desirable. So if you're somebody that's looking to move to Chicago, you should absolutely at least consider looking at these two neighborhoods. The next neighborhoods on my list are going to be Andersonville and Ravenswood. These neighborhoods are located just a little further north of Lakeview, and although they've gained popularity in recent years, I still consider them to be some of Chicago's hidden gems. Andersonville is actually a sub-neighborhood of Edgewater, but this historically Swedish neighborhood is packed to the brim with diverse food options, entertainment, and unique charm. The main commercial strip in Andersonville is along Clark Street, and honestly, this street feels like if you just took a small European town and plopped it in Chicago. This would be it. It would be Andersonville, and there's no other neighborhood in the city that has this sort of European charm to it. Walks up and down Clark Street are great, and there's plenty of stops that you'll want to make sure you make every time. Some of my favorites include Hopleaf, which is this Belgium-style bar with great dishes and a lively atmosphere. Others are La Colombe, which has fantastic draft coffee, as well as the Middle East Bakery and Grocery Store, which is actually right across the street from La Colombe. It has great falafel wraps, as well as this grocery store. You could find just about everything. I love the baklava there. Tastes delicious. And of course, you got great restaurants as well. I highly recommend Little Bad Wolf for burgers and Reza's, which is a great Persian restaurant. Both of them are definitely worth the visit. There are lots of entertainment options in Andersonville as well. For example, in the summer, they host the Midsummer Fest, where they block off the entire street. Tons of vendors come out. Live music is playing. It's overall a great time. And you'll also have access to some cultural spots, such as the Swedish American Museum. Okay, now let's shift over to Ravenswood, which is located just southwest of Andersonville. This neighborhood is for those that still want an urban feel, but want something that's a little bit more peaceful, relaxed, and slow-paced. In general, Ravenswood is a little bit more family-oriented, but there's still plenty to see and do here. One of my favorite things to do is visit Malt Row, where there are several of Chicago's best microbreweries and Chicago's first distillery. But if food is more your thing, then you'll not only have access to all the restaurants from Andersonville, but you also have access to the restaurants in Lincoln Square, which is an old German neighborhood that features tons of coffee shops, restaurants, bars, and has a lively entertainment district too. Overall, Ravenswood is very green. There's lots of great parks. It's great for walking around, and that's why typically it's a little more family oriented. While both of these neighborhoods have grown in popularity, they still remain a lot cheaper than places like Lincoln Park and Lakeview. In Ravenswood, the median home sales price is right around $525,000, and in Andersonville, it leans closer to $380,000. You'll mostly find condos and small boutique buildings, as well as a lot of single-family homes, especially as you get deeper into Ravenswood. Overall, if you want to live in an urban environment that's away from some of the chaos that most downtowns have, but you still want good public transportation, walkability, access to the lake, then Ravenswood and Andersonville definitely need to be on your list. Speaking of downtown, the next neighborhoods I want to mention are River North and Old Town. These are neighborhoods that I would consider part of Chicago's downtown, and they give off a typical city feel with all of its hustle and bustle and high-rises. So if you're looking for a neighborhood that never sleeps, then Old Town River North might be the neighborhoods for you, because there's absolutely always something going on during all days of the week and all times. These are major entertainment districts, so if you ever drive through Old Town or River North on a Saturday or Friday night, you'll be greeted with crowds of people that are walking the streets, hopping from bar to club to bar, and generally having a great time. In fact, these neighborhoods are going to be a lot more dense. I mean, after all, they're in the downtown where you'll have a lot more high-rises instead of single-family homes. Plus, you're getting close to some of the touristy aspects of Chicago, for example, the Magnificent Mile, John Hancock Building, and Navy Pier. These are all things that aren't too far away from River North and Old Town, so there's a good chance you might encounter some tourists if you live here. You also have a lot of hotels and businesses. So this is what I mean when I say if you really want that big city feel, Old Town and River North is where you should be looking. If you live here, then you have access to some of the best amenities that Chicago has to offer. Anywhere from entertainment options such as Second City, which is a comedy club, to the House of Blues, a music venue, as well as high-end, top-tier restaurants, some of the best in the entire world. If you have friends and family that are frequently going to be visiting you, then they'll absolutely love that you live in either Old Town or River North because of all the amenities around it. Because these neighborhoods are in the downtown, the cost of living here is going to be higher. The median sales price in River North is right around $410,000 and $435,000 in Old Town. And as I mentioned, unless you have absolute millions to spend on housing, you won't be living in a single family home, but instead most likely a condo in a high-rise building. Overall, if you're looking for that big city feel, you like that kind of energy, you want something that's similar to what you'd find in Manhattan, then Old Town and River North are definitely the right neighborhoods for you. Okay, and the last neighborhoods that I want to mention on my list are going to be Wicker Park and Bucktown. These neighborhoods are located northwest of the downtown, and in many ways they share a lot of similarities with both Lakeview and Lincoln Park. The main difference is that these neighborhoods tend to be a little bit more trendier and artistic, and a lot of that can be felt in the homes, shops, architecture, and people of the neighborhood. But as a result, you get a really diverse neighborhood that has great food options and a lot of charm that you simply can't find in other parts of the city. As I mentioned, both of these neighborhoods are very walkable. You have access to the CTA train stops along Milwaukee. And speaking of Milwaukee, that is the main street that you will want to be around if you're living here, because it's where all the action is. This is where the restaurants will be, where the bars will be, things like thrift shops, boutique stores, art galleries. I highly recommend visiting the rooftop over at the Roby Hotel, because since Wicker Park and Bucktown don't have a lot of high rises, you get a wonderful, unobstructed view of Chicago's skyline that I highly recommend you visit. Take your friends there, they'll absolutely love it. One of my favorite aspects about these neighborhoods are the access to the 606 trail. It's a relatively newer running, biking, walking trail that was built in 2016 on top of an abandoned train rail. So you get a slightly elevated view of the neighborhood, so you get some great views, and it is an absolute joy to walk up and down. Also, I find that some of the best summer street fests are in Wicker Park and Bucktown. They're fantastic, and it's a great way for the community to come together to enjoy food, music, and each other's company. So while these neighborhoods were once considered affordable, they've absolutely blown up since then. A lot of people have moved here, a lot of people want to move here, and as a result, your cost of living is going to be elevated. The median sales price in Wicker Park is right around $608,000 and right around $615,000 in Bucktown. You mostly find boutique buildings, 2 and 3 flats, as well as single family homes in these neighborhoods that are going to get pricey. Overall, if you're looking for a neighborhood that has all the amenities of Lincoln Park and Lakeview, but you want something that has a little bit more of a diverse, artsy, creative feel to it, then Wicker Park and Bucktown definitely need to be on your list. So there you have it. Those are, in my opinion, the best neighborhoods that Chicago has to offer. If you're planning on moving here, definitely look into each one of these, because I have a feeling that one of them will be the perfect match for you. If you're somebody that really knows Chicago and you think I missed a neighborhood or two, definitely let me know down in the comments below. And if you're looking to find out more information about what it's like to live in and around Chicago, stick around because I got a lot of videos on that topic. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.